Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. Today we are looking at the main navigation system of the JF-17, how to use it. It's waypoint based. It is either using INS, the Inertial Navigation System, or INS plus GPS. We can change that if we like. We're going to show how to add waypoints in Mission Editor and in Cockpit, how to delete waypoints in the cockpit, how to manipulate waypoints in the cockpit and change them. We're going to show how to create mark points. We're going to show how to switch between mark points and waypoints and all the other awesome cool stuff that we can do. So first of all, Mission Editor. The type of waypoints that is used by the JF-17 are three-dimensional instead of two-dimensional. A lot of aircraft in DCS are two-dimensional. We've got our guy here and I've already created waypoint 1, 2, 3 and 4. Waypoint 1, if I click on it there, has a designated altitude of that in feet and a speed of that. Notice that as well as an altitude, an X and a Y, it also has an associated speed with it, and all this information will be shown to our pilot via the HUD and whatnot for actually flying the waypoints. Waypoint 2 I've associated 6,000 feet and 300 knots. Waypoint 3 is our target waypoint and we put that at 33 feet. In fact, why not just change that to 300 feet, 400 knots, and waypoint 4 that and that. We're going to first show some general navigation function, then we're going to show how we actually navigate our aircraft through these waypoints. Then after that we're going to go into a bit more technical on how we edit waypoints. What we've got here is waypoint 3. It's supposed to be in the middle of that cross, but the planners have accidentally put it out here. We're going to show how from the cockpit of our airplane we can move it to the middle of that cross at the right altitude and the right speed and whatnot. Then we're going to decide that number 4 is no longer needed in the cockpit, and in the cockpit we want to delete it. Then we're going to decide, whoops, we didn't mean to delete that, and we're going to show different ways that we can add that waypoint back and a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's start with the HUD. First of all, we've got a certain waypoint selected and a certain flight plan. Currently selected, as you can see, is flight plan A and waypoint 1. We can see here in the HUD that flight plan A is selected with waypoint 1. We've got information here, the distance from us to waypoint 1 in nautical miles, the time from us at current speed and whatnot to get to waypoint 1, and that is current mission time. That is a visual three-dimensional representation of where waypoint 1 is. Also, we have the waypoint steering cue, which consists of a small circle, this vertical line, and a cross there. Now it's currently merged over some other things, so what I'm going to do is actually just move away slightly. So let's just repause there. So what this is telling us is that, first of all, because this circle is not in the center of our path vector here, or path marker here, then we are currently off the course line. We are currently left of the course line. Now why don't we look down here on our HSD. That is waypoint 0, that is waypoint 1, and if we zoom out, waypoint 2, 3 and 4. We go back in. What we've done is slipped off the left-hand side of this line here. This is called a course line. Course lines link waypoint 0 to 1, 1 to 2, and so on. So it's telling us that we need to head right to get back onto the course line. Now, as for the actual direction from us to get to waypoint 1, we've got various measures to do that. We can use our HSD here, and we could use this waypoint with the 12 o'clock position here to ensure that we travel in the right direction to it. We've also got this line here. This is canted to the right, which means it wants us to turn right. When it becomes in the 12 o'clock position with this marker here, then we're going in the right direction. And finally, we have this chevron here showing where waypoint 1 is in terms of actual heading. In terms of distance to waypoint, as you can see, we've got the distance there. Also, we've got a distance here. This little horizontal line means it's 10 miles when it's there, 5 miles when it's there, 0 miles when it's there. Note that we are in nav mode here, master mode, and we do need to be in nav mode. So that is the basic concept of how we actually fly the waypoints. Once we get to a waypoint, we can have it so that it automatically updates to the next waypoint, or manual, so that means it will not update to the next waypoint and we'll have to do it ourselves, and we'll show you that later, but just put it auto for now. So the first thing I want to show, very simply, flying between the waypoints. So now, it may or may not be critical depending on your mission if you have to stick on the course line to get to your waypoint. So that is why we have that course information. So what I really want to do is get the circle in the middle of our big circle there, and this guy here in a 12 o'clock position. It can be a little fiddly. So that's going to ensure that I get not only to the waypoint, but on course. Remember, course is different to azimuth or direction. Okay. On a heading down, it looks like it's down a couple of 100 feet or something like that. You can see the distance coming down, 4 miles, and 4 miles there. I'll just speed time up. 3 miles, 2 miles, slightly off course. Okay, and it's automatically updated to waypoint 2. And it's clearly telling me that I'm off course to the left and I need to pull right. So, sorry, I'm off course to the right, I meant. So we're going to do a merge, we've got a merging right turn. I'm going to fly, and we could be doing this all through the HUD here. In terms of elevation, it's going to be up in the sky somewhere, so I'm not actually quite sure how high it is, but there it is, it's up in the sky. So what I'm going to do is maneuver, so the guide circle is inside the path marker here to get on course. Small merge turn right, and then we're going to turn right. Speeds I forgot to talk about. Here is the guided speed. By this waypoint, you want to be doing that speed there, 300. So that's something else that you should need to think about if you're doing a mission properly. You see, I've got everything aligned now. We've got this chap here vertical. We've got the distance coming down there. We've got our course guide in the center, and we're nearly on speed. So what we're going to do is we're going to get past waypoint 2, and then we're going to start making things a little more complicated. And you can see down here, waypoint 2, like I said, you can zoom out, you can zoom in, you can overlay your map if you want to. We're just going to keep it super simple for now. The speed time up. And you can see it's now pointing us to waypoint 3 over there somewhere. The next thing I want to show you is how we can change waypoints manually if we want. If we don't want to go to waypoint 3, if we want to go, I don't know, back to waypoint 1, we can click here and we can type in 0, 1 and then press the arrow again. And it's now taking us back to waypoint 1. I'm just going to turn the lights on. And you can see now we're going to flight plan A, waypoint 1, 8.3 miles away. Another way of doing that would be able to click on this here, and then we've got an incrementer here. We can go up or down like that. So if I want to increment to waypoint 3, leave it till it stops flashing, and that will be waypoint 3. That didn't work very well. Yeah, there you go. It went to waypoint 3. And it's now back to waypoint 3. We can choose between TAS and CAS speed there, and that will change the waypoint speed as well as your current speed. Next, if we press flight plan A here, we can choose things other than flight plan A to navigate to. We've got bingo here, we've got our approach here, and we've got other videos showing approach. We've got flight plan B we can change to here. We've already done a video on approach, so why don't we go to bingo here? We click that. What that's going to do is that is what we press if we're emergency fuel. That will then change our navigation system so that all it concentrates on now is guiding us to closest airfield. And it's chosen airfield 59. So if we want to see where airfield 59 is, we're going to go down here. Airfield 59 is there. It's 12 miles away. It's a relative bearing of that, and it's an altitude of that. It is going to be that one there, copy Letty. If I wanted to have a look at it, you could see that's airfield 59. If I put the burners on and go and turn towards it, you can see now that it's literally, that is the threshold to run on that runway, and this information is now not guiding us to a waypoint. Well, or it is, but the waypoint is now on the threshold of the runway. So that's an emergency navigation measure there. If I want to get out of one of these modes and just want to get back to the main menu per se, always just press RTN there. The next thing I'd like to show you is how to modify existing waypoints. Remember, waypoint 3, which is there, is off target. I want to put it there. So the first thing we're going to do is get the lat long of the cross. So now I'm going to turn that to 8-digit. I'm going to plonk it there. Look at the top left. I'm going to write that number down now. And the altitude. So we're going to go back in the cockpit. Just notice it's still on 59. I'm just going to change that back to 01 for good practice. Okay, so what we want now is DST. This is a list of all of our waypoints in as selected flight plan A. We can step down those waypoints. We can step up those waypoints. As you step up and down them, you can see the information there. We want to change waypoint 3 there. So very easy to do. If I want to change north, I'll do that. If I want to change east, I would do that. In this case, I'm going to change the northing here. So I'm going to click on that number, and I'm going to click 415031 7-digit, I think it's going to be. So we're going to accept that. Then we're going to do the easting. Remember, easting has a 0 in front of it. So that 0, 0, 4, 1, 4, 7, 5, 2, 5. Accept. And an altitude, plus or minus. I don't know why you would ever have minus, but whatever. 00033, I believe it was. That. We've now changed waypoint 3 so that it should be in the middle of that cross. I've never actually done it while paused like this, so we're just going to see if that works. Let's see if it's updated itself. And we're going to make sure that we have... Oh, we don't have waypoint 3 selected yet, because if I look in here, we've got waypoint 1 selected. That's no good. So what we're going to do is back to main menu. We're going to click here, increment, increment, let that settle. And you can see now it's got waypoint 3 now selected, which of course is moved into the middle of the cross. So that is how we manipulate a waypoint from northings and eastings. So there are other ways of doing this. Next, I've decided I don't want waypoint 4 out here is useless. We're going to delete that. So very simple. I'm going to go to this here. Over here, I'm going to go to waypoint 4 step, and I'm going to clear it. Bosh, waypoint 4 no longer exists. Next, we're going to show that we can add a new waypoint out of nothing, and this time we're going to lay down a mark point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly out here. I want my waypoint to be, I don't know, where that little river's coming out there. So watch this. What I'm going to press is mark once, and it's going to be an overfly of memory position 41. And what I want to do is, as I fly over that point there, I'm going to, if I don't G out, is press mark again, and that will create mark point 41, memory point 41. So, boom, mark 41 has been created. So we've now got 41, memory position 41 created. If I wanted to prove that, I would go all the way down here. This is just one way of doing it. There are many ways of doing it, so I just want to kind of proof of concept. And there's mark 41. So what I could do now is I could copy that, and I could go back all the way up there, and I could paste it. Ping. Oh, I just pasted it over number 3 by accident. My bad. So we're going to clear that. We're going to show another way that we can do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to DST. I'm going to go select number 41. Enter. It's now got 41. And I could copy. And I could now press waypoint 03. Enter. And paste. So what I've done there is I've created mark point over that little bit of river there, and I've pasted it over waypoint 3. And if we select waypoint 3 now and make sure it's selected, and it is, burners on, what we should see is that it's over that point there. Now note that it also has a Z-axis, so it will be at the same altitude as we were at when we were, flying. So just bear that in mind. You can adjust that manually with just by pressing that button there, exactly as you saw. So if I want it lower, I can go 0, 0, 0, 30, ping, and now it's right down on the deck. So, to summarise, we've shown how to fly through waypoints, we've shown how to modify waypoints, we've shown how to delete waypoints, how to add waypoints, how to copy waypoints, how to paste waypoints, how to create mark points, how to turn mark points into waypoints and then modify them if we need to. So it is a really good navigation system. Easy to use, easy to manipulate, and easy to handle data. Only thing I can think of adding to that is HNS. Click here. This is showing, do we want our navigation primary, this is our primary navigation system, bear in mind, to be INS, inertia system, and GPS, or just INS? So that allows us to do that there. Obviously, if you're in a place where you've got a GPS coverage, you'll want that. If you're in a place where you don't have GPS coverage, you'll want that. Your INS will go out of alignment quicker like that, or it will go out of alignment like that, which comes to PU, which we'll look at another time. I don't think we'll do that on this video. Anything you want to add to that, RC?
If you hot start on the ground with waypoints in mission editor, you will need to do the data cartridge.
Because remember, to get from the mission editor, to get that information into this airplane here, you need to put your data cartridge in and do the DTC load. I've got a video on that if you don't know how to do that. Otherwise, none of that mission editor data comes into our mission computer here.
Unless you're air starting. If you're air starting, then it's all in.
And this was what I did, was an air start. So, yeah, good. Well done clearing it up. I hope that was useful, and see you later.